Hey y'all, in this video we're going to be going ahead and looking at another example of linear equations. So in this one it gives us multiple little problems to go ahead and work through. And it goes ahead and asks us, okay, so from the new charter school opened in 2001, there were 380 students enrolled originally. So the original amount of students that were enrolled, so what we can say is OG enrolled, and we can say that that's 380 students. So what we can think about as in graphing perspectives, well, at time, essentially the school is pretty much founded in 2001 or whatever. We see that. So at 2001, that'll be times 0. So what we say at 2001, so times 0 will be the year 2001. So we get to say that it has 380 people. So to us, that's like saying, oh, it's the y-intercept at 0 at 380. So we get to go ahead and think of it like that. So then now we're going to go ahead and use the information that they give us to come up with some linear equations. And just remember, linear equations is the same thing as saying slope-intercept. So here's the equation. Y is equal to mx plus b. It's either linear or slope, either name that you prefer. So when we look at equation A here, so we'll go ahead and look at equation A. It says increase by 24 students per year. So for question A, it's saying that, so we notice it's increasing by 24 students per year. Now there's a key word here, per year. For us, our interpretation that we have to understand is that per year represents a ratio. It's a fraction. And what's another thing? So if it's a ratio or fraction, that lets us know that, oh, if we're dealing with a ratio or fraction, it only comes up to one thing. Well, the only thing we've ever mentioned before when it comes to linear is m, or slope. So then now we get the idea that, oh, they're telling us that every year, oh, that's a slope. And every year, and remember our ratio now is that per year. So the aspect is how much are we looking to grow per year. So we get to go ahead and start working with our equations. So we know that A is so we know for question A, our y-intercept was 308, because that's what it started with originally. Then we know its slope is 24. So then from the information, we get to say y is equal to mx plus b. Remember, write it down. Keep on writing it, y'all. Best strategy you can always do is just keep on writing it down. For this, we want to go ahead and fill in the information now. So we get y is equal to 24x plus 308. And this will be the linear equation. This will be your equation of the line. This will help demonstrate for the school how many students are increasing per year. All right, so that's question A. So now we're going to go ahead and look at question B. All right, decreased by 48 students per year. So, oh, and I didn't mention this, which is good actually. Increasing tells us plus. Decreasing tells us negative. So if it's decreasing and then now it's saying 48 students per year, so we fail. So very similarly, per year tells us that that's our slope now. So we get to say 48 is our slope. So we have m is equal to 48, and then we have our y is equal to, our y-intercept is equal to 380. So in order to write the equation of the line, remember y'all write it down. I'm going to say this every time in every video. Hope y'all listen through this part. 48x plus 308. But I have this wrong, and I hope people are noticing that I do have it wrong. I hope they're questioning themselves like, wait, shouldn't there be, since he said down negative? Yes, you want to go ahead and fill that in. So what we get to say overall is that y is equal to negative 48x plus 308. Pretty sure one of y'all is going to be thinking, he's trying to test this or something. Nah, I honestly forgot. So then we got C. We're going to be looking at C now. So question C, go ahead and tells us that it's increased by 36 students every 2 years. Okay, so this question's a little different now. It says increased by 36 students every 2 years. So what it's telling us is that there's an increase, which tells us it's positive, and it's doing 36 students per every 2 years. But in the previous examples, they were telling us that it was per year. So remember, we got to get in the idea of per year is going to be our slope. So for every year that the student is there, so if 1 year's passing by, then we have so many students. So we got to look at how the year to student ratio. So we want per year, not every 2 years. So the way to think about this now is we can go ahead and divide 36 by 2. So if we decide to insert 36 divided by 2, we're going to get 18. Sorry, y'all. Mental math is low. So we get 18 right there. So then that's going to tell us that this is now per year. So the idea is that we have now 36. We have 18 students per year, because when I went ahead and divided it by 2, so this is the idea of the slope. So every year that it increases, we're going to get 2. So every 2 it's moving. So we're wanting to divide it by 2, essentially cutting it in half. But instead of saying we're going to cut it in half, you want to divide it by 2 because that's what it's telling you per year. So we'll see later on per 3 years, 5 years. You're always going to divide by the year. So now we know the slope overall. So our slope is equal to 18. We know our y-intercept, which will be 380. And then we'll go ahead and say, okay, now remember y is equal to mx plus b. Y is equal to 18x plus 380. That is our equation of the line. Just want to add some more paper, y'all. Y'all munching on my paper. Can't do nothing about it. Alright, so now we're going to go to question D. I think we should be almost done with 2 of them. Alright, now this is decreases 28 students every 4 years. So in order to save a little bit of time, so remember this is 28 every 2 years. Let's say 2 or 3. Oh, no, it says 4. Oh, make sure, you always got to make sure, y'all. Make sure that it's always doing that. It'll go away right now. So every 4 years. So what we're going to say is 28 divided by 4, which tells us that is 7 students per year. So since we know our y-intercept is 380, sorry, and our m is equal to 7, we get to say y is equal to 7x plus 380. And this is decreasing also, I believe. So we gotta assume the idea is it's going down, which tells us it's negative. Yes, decreasing. So we'll go ahead and negative 7. Oh, and I even forgot to skip my step. Oof. Remember, y'all, check it, do it, write it down 100 times if you have to. It does help. All right, now E is the last one, and we'll go ahead and finish up this problem. Remain constant, did not change. If y'all see my other videos, remain constant is a key word. Remain constant is another way of saying horizontal. Horizontal leads us to believe that m is equal to 0, or we have slope is 0. So we got a line running through it. So if y'all have seen my previous videos, we know if we go ahead and plug in our equation, which you will see what I can do, and we know that our point that we're using is 0 and 380. So based off of this, I can say y is equal to mx plus b. Remember to write this out. Write it. I keep on telling you all. 380 is equal to 0 times, well, technically 0, because they both have both 0. Turns out to be 380 is equal to b. So we notice that our line, if we put the information that we already know, 0 times x plus 380, we get that our slope is, our line of our equation is 380. So you can go ahead and check out the earlier video. It goes into a little bit more detail on why it is, but the overall gist is that we get a line that's running through the point 0, 380. So that's all for this on this examples. So if y'all need anything, just let me know. Hit it up, put a shout out, comment on it. Go ahead and do what you need to do to get your help. Thanks a lot.